Hello, my name is Ugochi Vivian Uka. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! Thank you for joining me today. I hope that before the end of this video, you click on the like button and on the subscribe button if you haven't. Thank you. So as you can see, I'm dressed, dressed to impress. Yeah, because I just finished giving a presentation, and that's what I actually want to talk about today. How to give a presentation. And most of what I'll be talking about would be just few tips on presenting, usually for academic purposes, but there are many other reasons why you might have to give a presentation. You might need to present something in church, you might need to present something as a politician, as a government official, in your workplaces. So having good presentation skills is very important. So I'm just going to tell you a few things that I do to help me prepare, plan, and deliver a good presentation. So number one, prepare your content. So whatever it is that you're going to present on, don't wait to the last minute, don't wait to the night before when you start preparing the content. Whether it's PowerPoints that you're planning to use or you're using posters, whatever it is, just make sure that it's ready way ahead of time. So you have everything that you're going to talk about on your slides and your posters, on your piece of paper, whatever medium that you're planning to use. Write it all out, think about them well and over again. And when you're preparing your content, think about the audience that you're going to be delivering to. Who are you presenting to? Are they lay audience, like to general public, so you need to explain things a little bit more? Are they clinicians or medical doctors where you need to explain more in health context? Are they church people where you need to put some religious quotes in them? So anyway, whatever it is, just think about your audience, and that will help you plan and prepare your content. So number two, practice. I always practice with myself before I give my presentation. So if these days I usually use PowerPoint, so I act as if I'm actually giving a presentation. And the funny thing is, when you enlarge your presentation, your PowerPoint presentation, you tend to find more errors that you didn't even see versus when it's not enlarged. So when you're just sliding through normally, you might not see a lot of things, but when you enlarge it and you then act as if you're giving your presentation, then you will see errors, and then you can take notes of them down and then fix it at the end, or if you want, you can stop and fix it at that moment and continue. But it's very important to practice. Also, speaking of practice, if you can, practice with others as well. It helps, especially if those people you're going to practice with are of similar audience with the people you're going to be delivering that presentation to. So they might help you think about questions that you did not initially think about. They might help you find other errors. They might help you think about ways to improve your content and your presentation style. So I'd really recommend practicing with other people. And if you don't have other experts to practice with, you can practice with your neighbors, with your friends. Thankfully, everything now is virtual, so you can call up even your family members, say, hey, I want to practice this with you, do you mind? And then they can even listen to you and help to time you as well, because it's important to be on time. Have you ever been for a presentation where, say it's a 10 minutes presentation, the person goes over and over for 15 minutes and then they have to cut them off, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. You don't want to be one of those people, because it adds anxiety to your presentation. You end up not doing as well as you should have, and people might also lose interest in your presentation. So don't be like that. Make sure you stick to time. 3, have a backup for your presentation material. I always email myself my PowerPoint slides. I think is important. I also, if I can, have another device, another laptop ready just in case. I have an earphone ready just in case of anything, so that not on the day of presentation you're like, oops, this is not working, oh, that is working, that's not good. So just have everything as much as ready as you can. Have backups and backup of backup, so that even if the internet crashes that day, you have something somewhere. Maybe you have printed out slides and you can just talk from it. So just backup. That's the key message there. Number 4, if you make a mistake while presenting, don't lose hope. And what I mean is, don't just stay stuck there and start looking, because I see sometimes people make mistakes and they just from there don't know what else to say. and some even curse. Some, I'm telling you, I've been a judge at several presentations. So I judge academic presentations sometimes, and there was this time where this guy was presenting so well, and he got to somewhere and he was like, shh, you know, he made the S word, and because he forgot what he wanted to say. In that situation, I would just advise you to try to stay calm, say excuse me, and then try to continue from wherever you can. And that is why you should also have notes or backup, right? Because then you can look at your notes and that might remind you of what you wanted to say. If you feel completely blocked, that you can't remember that particular point, you can even say, I'll get back to it, and then continue with the next point. That's better than just stopping completely in the middle of a presentation. So try as much as possible not to be discouraged by errors. People make errors in presentation. There are pauses in between, there are and M's in between, but that should not stop you, okay? And then my final point, and maybe this is just peculiar to me, I would say dress to impress, yeah? Prepare your outfits, because I think that's one of the things that helps to make you look professional when you're presenting. And when you're presenting, you want to look professional, so it helps you look professional. And for me, it also gives me an additional boost. It makes me feel confident. I even wear some perfume, even if I'm not going anywhere, because now we're doing a lot of presentations at home, right? But I wear some perfume, anything that I know is gonna make me feel good, because when you feel good, you can exude that energy everywhere, right? And that will help your presentation. So at least in the upper half part, right, try and look good. We know that the lower part you might be wearing pajamas, but nobody will see that, hopefully, if you don't stand up. But yeah, the upper half part, try to look good. Yeah. And bear in mind that the way I present for different things are different. So the way I talk on YouTube is different from the way I'll talk for my academic presentation. Is different from the way I present or read in church, because I used to read in church as well. It's different from the way I'll talk on Instagram, on my WhatsApp stories. So just be cautious about who you're presenting to. If you're presenting to a more formal audience, you can't be dancing and moving your head like this or swinging. I've been to a presentation where the person was just like rocking back and forth and it was very distracting. You can't do those things for a formal presentation. And also sometimes I think some people are so used to talking with their hands like this, that when they're presenting formally, then they're moving their hands and it's just distracting. You don't know whether to look at them or their hands or the slides, whatever it is that they're presenting. So when you're presenting formally, just try to act professional. Try to look calm, try to act professional, try to speak clearly, more clearly. If you need to speak a little slower, pronounce your words better so that people can understand you. And be prepared for questions, possible questions. Obviously, you might not know what questions they will ask you, but when you're presenting and you're practicing with yourself and others, take notes of questions that might pop up and then think about possible answers to them, or even ways you can get around those answers, even if you don't know the answers. As you know, you can easily say, that's a very good question. I haven't really thought about that, but now you mention it, I see how that can be related to this topic and I will look more into it. Something like that. Dance around it. So prepare for questions and try to answer smartly. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you find this video useful. I hope it helps somebody in their presentation at some point. And have a nice day. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and stay safe. Bye.